Three grumpy gamers.
Kelly!
We're on.
Let's start our podcast now.
Kelly! Well, I wanted my keyboard moving, didn't I?
No, you couldn't have done it himself.
Do I look like somebody who like...
Hey, we're back again with the podcast.
I don't care.
Shall I stop this and start it again?
No, I like this. It's
No.
really raw. No, it's not.
That's how we roll.
People love their natural raw edge that we bring to our amateurish hour.
What people?
Exactly, it's what you're caring for.
Yeah, you're right.
What's the matter with you?
I've got nothing. I've been way too busy all week.
I've got very little.
I've got fucking loads.
Really?
Nah.
I was going to say. Jesus. Right, first off, we'll get it out of the way. Have either of you two seen the new trailer for the new Metal Gear game?
No.
No. Not my thing.
Is this the one that they've done without Kojima?
Yes. And basically, it's called Metal Gear Survive. Now, imagine Left 4 Dead in the Metal Gear universe.
What?
Yeah, it's got like fuck all to do with Metal Gear, and basically it looks shit, and it's basically the new Call of Duty Infinite Warfare trailer where like it's been absolutely panned to bits with dislikes on YouTube. Get it up, have a watch now.
I'm
Honestly,
rolling
it's
now.
disgusting.
Metal Gear.
But haven't they got a bright future without Kojima?
Something like that.
Wasn't it okay? Wasn't he just one man?
Here we go. Official trailer.
Peggy 18.
It's already chubby. Awesome. They've taken the very well written, excellent, profound franchise with loads of deep twists and turns and made it mundane, run of the mill.
Is that a zombie?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
That's why I was saying like think Left 4 Dead, and you're not that far off.
Garbage. Years ago,
I don't even want to watch it anymore.
years ago, right, there was a sketch show on BBC called The Thin Blue Line. You probably remember it.
You do?
Had like
Noel
loads of
Atkinson.
British legends in it, really funny. And there was a big thing at the time that people criticised the BBC for, which was just cop drama after cop drama after cop drama. And they did this sketch where they showed you the camera, like a POV camera, BBC Office Board of Directors. And you opened the door and there was this long table and there was just monkeys all sat around the table, like throwing food about, playing with costumes, right? And there was like one Rowan Atkinson doing a voiceover for the head of the BBC. We need another idea. And it was showing you a monkey like eating a banana. It was like, no, not a cookery show. And then it was going around, like, I went on and on like this for ages. And it showed you a monkey like trying to shag another one and climb up a curtain. He's like, no, not a nature show. And then it showed you a monkey pulled out a plastic hat, a plastic police hat, and started bashing himself over the head with it. That's it, another cop show, right? That trailer has immediately brought that 80s sketch back to my mind. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what do we need? What the kids buying? I know, a zombie shooter. Yeah, zombie shooter. And you can imagine like the monkey sat in the board of directors, can't you? And like a fucking monkey smacking a zombie's head off the table. And yes,
Do you reckon they brought this up previously to Kojima and Kojima's gone, no?
probably.
I think what it is they know that anything that they produced immediately after the Kojima debacle was probably going to be like met with a load of shit, right? like anything they'd done would have been panned. Probably not that severely, but the
Not
fallout after
necessarily.
that-
I don't think so. I think the hardcore Kojima fans would have done anyway. But I think if they'd done something good, you could have been, oh, aye.
But I think what's happened there is they've went, Metal Gear is our like one of our massive franchises. We've made a zombie game. How do we like make the money? Do you know what I mean? How do we get those extra copies sold? All right, let's put the Metal Gear tagline on it, because people go, oh, it's Metal Gear, and you know what I mean? Metal Gear is good, isn't it?
Yeah.
It might have even been like I say, it might not even be that. I mean, this is purely conjecture, but it might even just been like a middle finger at Kojima. Like, you know, we've made this game, but we're calling it Metal Gear because we can. Fuck you.
It's okay.
But yeah, it's awful. Like, just didn't need to be made, or if it did, like the whole calling it Metal Gear thing's there's the bone of contention really. If they hadn't called it that and it was just shit zombie game.
It's like Revengeance.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. People are saying like, oh well, they've taken the Metal Gear franchise in some weird places before anyway, and I'm like, well, yeah, but
Never like that.
Yeah.
But it's always been within the realms of the
and this
franchise.
is the thing. Like, I remember at the time, like being not bothered about Revengeance because I thought it was such a departure from the franchise anyway. But it turned out to be like pretty good.
It was an enjoyable, naff mangery game,
Yeah,
but it was like the right kind of naff.
but that just looks shit.
So you know Respawn Games who do Titanfall and they've
Yeah.
done Titanfall 2. Have you heard what they've compared Titanfall 2 campaign to?
Oh yeah.
They say Titanfall 2, the campaign, harkens back to games like Half-Life.
I don't say it. I don't say it. Haven't played both Half-Lives. I find very little comparison between them.
Same
Have you
thing.
not played all 3 Half-Lives? Oh wait, no.
Well, yeah, he probably has. He's played Half-Life 2, 2.5.
I played
And Black
episode-
Mesa as well.
I played episode 1 and 2. I haven't played Black Mesa, but that's just the remaster of the first one.
Yeah.
In the Source engine.
Yeah, that's garbage.
Remember a few months ago I was kind of saying, you know, like EA have turned a corner, they're now the good guys.
And I said you just deluded.
Yeah. Well,
They're not.
they've gone back on.
Did you remember me saying they'll do something to reclaim their title? They won't be sitting there like, we're not having Ubisoft making us look like we've gone soft. What have they done?
Yeah.
Remember how they said, like, remasters are good, but it's not for us, because we don't want to rinse people of the
Yeah.
money for no reason.
Of course
Yeah.
they don't.
No.
They've never done that. FIFA.
So now Mass Effect 1, 2 and
Yes.
3 are getting remastered
Yes, I've
on
heard.
PS4, Xbox One.
Honestly,
Which is shit, because it's the second time they've been remastered.
Are they putting everything in it, all the DLC?
Yeah.
I might get it.
who fucking cares? Like, this is the thing.
That's just going to sail past you two, that, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think
You'll get it, but you'll not play the third one.
enough time's elapsed now where, like,
I might not. I've still got a thing about the third one in my head.
technically you haven't bought the third one though, have you? You
No,
bought the whole thing.
I cancelled my pre-order.
No, I mean if you buy the,
The remaster.
you haven't bought the third one though. You bought the remaster. Yeah, but it's like, this is the thing. I think if you like, well, it's kind of where the line gets grey between remastering and remaking. I think at a certain point, usually probably I'd say every like console generation, the advances in technology are enough to like what potentially warrant something like basically the technology advances enough to make it sufficiently different than before.
Sometimes there's an argument for it. Like
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us was exactly the example I was going to give.
So yeah, I think that's a really shit example.
I think it's the best one. Why do you? I want to hear why you think it's shit first.
Because even though that, like, this is the thing, right? It looked nicer, but I'm kind of talking more sort of like on a mechanical level. Like, say the difference between, I don't know, say the PS2 and the PS3 was like huge. So if you remastered something on the PS2, that might have been like the game that, like, I don't know how they envisaged the game, but they couldn't due to technology limitations at the time.
Right.
Shall I
more so?
tell you why I think The Last of Us is a very good example?
Yeah.
Because when that game came out on the PS3, it was groundbreaking, and it could be argued if not at least of its own genre overall, definitely in at least the top 3 games on the PlayStation of all time. Now, the reason it's an argument for a remaster was because of the timing of it, because it came out just as the PS3 was winding down.
Yeah.
And plus, a lot of Xbox users came to PlayStation
See,
for the
that's
PS4.
fair. I should clarify. I don't think it's a bad choice for like. It would be a bad choice for the point I was trying to make.
Yeah, so it was fair to get that game out to other people who might have missed it for being in between consoles, changing platforms. They missed out on a lot of sales for people who are like, oh, I'm not going to buy like AAA titles from PlayStation 3 now when the PlayStation 4 is out in 2. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like there's that argument you made. While I see your point and I pretty much agree with most of it, what I suppose I'm saying is there's often like
extenuating circumstances.
Yeah, where I think okay, that's fair enough. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
But there's got to be a line somewhere where it's like, no, that's too soon to be remade. Like, see if they went to, can remember Siphon Filter for the PS1?
Yeah.
If they remade that for the PS4, I'd be like, shit, yeah, I'll buy that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, because there's been a significant. It's not even a length of time, but like significant advances in the technology and like things where it would be the same but different. Do you know what I mean? Like I say, maybe what the developer envisaged the game being, but never they couldn't
say envisaged again.
Envisaged.
There you go.
But yeah, so I don't know. I do like. What do you think's the minimum cut-off point for a remaster? Like, what's your minimum like time scale?
Well, I think for this generation, it can't be something like Mass Effect that's already been remastered.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good.
No, I'm just doing this while I do this.
A good candidate for being remastered.
PS1, PS2, draw the line there. Anything PS3 shouldn't be remastered anymore.
I agree.
I mean, look at fucking Bioshock's coming out, remastered Bioshock.
And what's the point?
Yeah, like I say, if there's been a significant enough amount of time or technological advancement where the gameplay would be like different enough to warrant it, or like better looking beyond just a few more pixels, then yeah, maybe. But shit that's like. I definitely don't think stuff should be like remastered in the same console generation.
No.
Like, I mean, I know that the PS3 was 7 years or something, but if something got remastered on the PS3 from its first year of thingy, even if it's 5 years later, I don't see the point of it. What?
And plus, it kind of makes PlayStation now
completely obsolete.
Yeah.
Even more than it already is.
Exactly. They should just put the backwards compatibility on the PS4 and be done with it, and then stop remastering PS3 stuff.
I don't give a fuck about it. If you're that bothered, just play it on a PS3. Do you know what I mean?
I've just noticed you've called one of your planets Jenna Jameson.
Yeah, it's me pawn Star Galaxy.
Nice.
It's called something Star Galaxy. So each planet's going to get named after a prevalent porn star, and various things on that planet. Again, there's already a big, long, dildo-y looking iron orifice there called Jenna's Love Toy.
Right.
I like to keep it in themes, Michael. I like themes. What's wrong with that? Wait till I find a bobbly looking plant that has something called Jenna's Love Eggs.
Awesome.
What?
No, just as long as you're having fun.
There's going to be Planet Chasey Lane, Planet Chrissy Lane.
Is there a planet Sasha Grey?
I'll stick a Sasha Grey in. There's 5 planets. I'll do you a Sasha Grey. Michael, your mum and a lot of your family actually feature quite heavily on some of my planets.
Cooper's mum.
There's also one of the planets, a withered, browny looking stalk thing with a strange mucky bulb on the top, and that's called Michael's Manhood.
Excellent. I'm glad you're thinking of us as you're playing the game.
I am.
Leave me alone.
So
I think that's about all the news I have, actually.
I've got a couple of things.
Well, have you seen the PS4 beta?
I've seen screenshots of it, and I think it looks interesting. But I'm not oh yes, that's going to revolutionise the way the home screen works. But I think the good changes? Yeah. Looks alright.
I don't care.
The quick screen thing's pretty.
I don't care enough.
like pretty decent.
Honestly, I just don't care enough.
Yeah.
I think like people are just they're just faffing for faff's sake.
It's
I'm in
just-
that mood today. Like
It's a very minor quality of life adjustment.
I just want to be able to change your name, your PSN
Yeah.
name.
have they
think
brought that yet or not?
No.
I think the folders thing's a decent idea.
Yeah.
Because haven't they've talked about that for years?
They're not going to do it. They said they're never going to do it.
It's ridiculous.
Anyway, sorry I interrupted you. Hal.
I love interrupting you.
You're going to keep doing this?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Okay. It's alright, I'll just set you off. And instead of interrupting us, you just go, oh.
You go on a rant.
I'm not triggery today. I'm not triggerly puff today. Like
Pokemon Go. Apparently some people have filed a class action lawsuit against Niantic.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this because Pokestops are at the house or some shit like that?
Hold on, give us a second.
do you know what? That's brilliant though. That's a good idea.
Hang on, I took some screenshots, give us a second. I'm loving this new phone because when I take a screenshot, it asks if I want to take any more and it scrolls down exactly like one screen's width, so I can just go tap 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 and it puts it all together in one image, so I'm like, yeah.
That was so interesting.
Mate, I've only upgraded my phone after like 3 years.
What handset's that?
A 6, it's still not even a brand new one.
Yeah, they are good. Like to be fair, they're fucking awesome.
They are good, but Andy will tell you they're easy to smash.
A bit too easy.
Phone case. I've learned the hard way. Yeah, basically, irritated by how Pokemon Go draws people to a park near their home, a Metro Detroit couple has filed a class action lawsuit against the creators of the game.
Is it a public park?
I don't know. Hang on.
Probably
The
is.
fuck then?
They're suing to try and stop Niantic from putting Pokemon on or near private properties unless they have an owner's blessing. Additionally, the lawsuit asks that a share... This is the bit that I don't agree with. Additionally, the lawsuit asks that a share of Pokemon Go's revenue be given to residents whose properties are claimed to refuel the game's wild popularity. So basically, we're taking you to court because we don't want people on our lawns unless we're getting paid for it.
Thing is, they're not even on the lawns. They're in a fucking park opposite the
Yeah,
house.
if they're in a public park, it's a public park.
Yeah,
You can have 3 people or
This
300
is it.
people
They
there.
live. It's not even on. They don't even live in the park. They live across the street from Warby Park, which is a Pokemon Go gym with several Pokestops in the nearby area. Hundreds of people can come by on any given day. And apparently,
That's what a park's for.
yeah, he's on record as saying nobody gets sleep anymore. How is this acceptable? You live across the road from a fucking park. It says they hang out on our lawns, trample landscaping, look in vehicles. We don't feel safe sitting on our porch. Like, fuck me, you live in Detroit?
You shouldn't be feeling safe anyway.
If you feel threatened by a bunch of kids playing Pokemon, the problem's more with you.
And besides, like, the thing is there's nothing Niantic really can do about it in terms of, like, they can move a gym or they can move a Pokestop, right? But in terms of where the Pokemon spawn, that's all generated, like, fucking randomly in the Google API, so there's nothing they can do about that. You can't just, like, fucking...
I was reading that there was Pokemon turning up at like government black sites and stuff in America, and the government weren't too happy.
Like, that's the thing, there's already been a thing where they've moved several Pokemon gyms because they were at, like, fucking war memorials and stuff. And, like...
Yeah, that's massively disrespectful. Like.
So they've moved them, do you know what I mean? Like I say, they can move gyms and stuff, but it's like, you know... But file like, the lawsuit...
That's
it
just
seems-
that's just Americans seeing fucking dollar signs,
Yeah.
man.
Speaking of stupid lawsuits, so this is nothing to do with games, it's movies. But there was a kid in Scotland who's suing the movie studio about the Suicide Squad. Because apparently he travelled, and it cost him £500 apparently to travel from where he was in Scotland, top end of Scotland, to London to see the premiere of the Suicide Squad.
That's his fault.
And everything they show in the trailer was pretty much cut out of the movie. So he's suing them for false advertising.
It's this new thing called fucking caveat emptor. Do you know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ.
But the thing is, it was made clear, well before the movie was released, that loads of shit was cut out of it.
Yeah.
I mind, he's got a point that it's ridiculous to have a trailer for a movie that isn't in the movie.
I agree, but suing for like
Yeah,
a couple of £1 million because he travelled to London.
Yeah, it's like, if you knew all this
And got a
going,
bit salty.
going into it, right, why would you even, like, if you knew you might be disappointed,
Why bother?
ask me if I would travel the length of the country and spend 500 quid to be disappointed. On anything. No.
Yeah, you would. Oh,
No.
no. That's if Amy comes to visit you.
What, even though we live in the same
Yeah,
house?
but before that, she used to travel not that far, but she used to regularly pay money to travel to you. Would be disappointed, didn't she?
Yeah. Made her a cup of tea afterwards though, so it's alright.
Well, everyone likes tea.
I travelled to Scotland just to see a film once, and you know, if I'd been disappointed, it would have been my own fault. But
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's his own fault. It's not like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's true. Like you're right. It's ridiculous.
Right.
So I've been keeping an eye on the potential updates, and there is still some mumblings about making it so you can find your friends and that online.
Oh yeah, Captain's Log, how's it going?
What I'm doing at the moment is I'm just building myself up nice and strong, getting a good multi-tool, getting a decent ship, good shields, good guns. Like I want it to be. The first time I blow you out of the sky, it's going to be convincing.
Right.
It's going to be like, oh fuck, that's what it is.
Me and Hal's already found each other, and we're looking for you
And
now.
even though, right, I can even tell you this and it'll still work because you're a sucker. And even though you know that I've said this, it'll still work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be like, oh, Michael, no, I'll help you. So, like, let's say if you're in an area where there's like loads of pirates and you're getting pounded, I'll be like, no, I will. I'm going to come and help you. And I will. I'll come and help you. And then when all the pirates are gone, I'm going to just turn around, and blow you out of the sky again.
Awesome. You're not going to find us, though.
I
That's
will.
a problem.
Of course, I'll find you. When they bring the patch in, so you can find your mates.
Looks like you've got a ship exactly like mine, actually. Does it look like the one from Red Dwarf a bit?
A little bit.
Yeah, it's a cool ship. So how's your feelings on No Man's Sky now? It's been, what, a week and a few days since it's released?
Sort of shite. Nah, it's honestly, truthfully, and I'm not being sarcastic, even though you thought I was when I messaged you earlier. It's up there with Red Dead Redemption for me for being like a groundbreaking, amazing gaming experience. I absolutely love the game.
It's funny, you see experience. I read this thing in the Telegraph or the Guardian the other day, and it was saying that people who enjoy No Man's Sky are the people who think of gaming as an experience, as like something to be immersed in, whereas people who don't like it don't play games for the experience. You know.
Yeah, I think there's some truth in that.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement.
Because the guy who was reviewing it compared it to Elite, not the new Elite,
Yeah.
which he said was shit, the Commodore 64 one where you could just lose yourself for hours and...
Yeah. But I'm loving it. But there is like a loose enough. It's loose enough, but there's a strong enough thread in there to keep you on track, on quest for something. So even the grinding away and the mining.
It doesn't feel like grinding.
It doesn't feel like you're grinding. It feels like it's purposeful. That's what the game is. And I love not just your usual war in the skies, loads of spaceships, blaster sci-fis. I like the stuff where it's just like one man.
Yeah, you against the universe.
Yeah.
The cold, fucking dark emptiness of space.
Yeah, I love all that. And this game totally embodies that. It really feels like that. Even though you're meeting other races, you feel detached from them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not without its problems, as me and Hal were talking about on the way up. But
I had a massive problem earlier, well, it was last night actually, where I went to land my ship and it landed in a funny place.
Yeah.
And he glitched through the map.
Yeah.
And I was swimming around, stuck underwater, drowning.
The only thing I've had like that was I landed on top of a tree, and I couldn't. It was too high for us to get into my ship, so I was like, right, I'll blow up the tree.
The ship doesn't drop.
It doesn't drop.
Same thing.
So I was like, all right.
The workaround's easy though. The workaround's easy.
jetpack up.
Yeah.
No, if you can't reach your jetpack, you just go to another station
Oh,
where it's got
and
the
call
corner
Call it
ship.
over. Yeah.
Problem I've had is when you go to a new star system and it starts warping, it'll just crash. The game crashes and shuts down.
Mine hasn't done that
I've
yet.
had that a few times.
Mine's crashed twice. Once when I was actually on stream right after I died, so it totally looked like I just rage quit the game on the video.
Or in other words, you rage quit and then thought, shit, I was broadcasting this, I need a cover story.
But yeah, something like that. No, I'm thoroughly enjoying the game, but it's pretty much what I always knew it would be. Where I said it's very much mood dependent for me. Where it's like if I want something to get lost in and just relax and chill out, it's like my go-to game. But sometimes, like, it's a little bit too slow paced for us. sometimes. But that's not even a criticism on the game really. It's just I'm not in the mood for what No Man's Sky is.
I had my first ambush by space pirates yesterday, and I already liked the game, and as soon as they tried to ambush me, and I blew 3 of the cunts out of the sky, I fucking loved it. I was like, take that, space pirates, do you know what I mean? And now, whenever I can, I fly around with gold on us so I can get attacked.
Yeah. It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah. I did try to answer a distress beacon though, and I got absolutely mullered.
Yeah.
I got absolutely just obliterated, like.
There's one thing I was talking to Hal on the way up, was the ships. You know how there's different classes of ships, there's the exploration, scientific and attack ship. But there's no difference in any of them. So judging by your ship, looks like mine, we've got like an exploration ship which has got a big hold.
Mm-hmm.
You can still fight perfectly fine in it. You know, which is shit you shouldn't be able to, but...
Well,
I mean, to a certain degree...
I think when you get past a certain point, it's going to be more notable. Because when I answered that distress beacon, I was up against very small, think Battlestar Galactica original
Vipers.
series style Vipers, and my turning circle was like a bus, and I just couldn't get near them.
See, what I was saying to Cooper on the way up is that like there's no cap on how much you can upgrade your ship, so eventually they'll all end up super souped up, and at a point they'll go back to how it is now, where there's not much distinction between them. Whereas I think a nice way to do that would be to say a research ship, you can't upgrade your photon blasters as much as you could on a fighter ship.
So you only get standard blasters, but you can get good shielding and hyperdrive.
Yeah, so stuff like that. Just so there's that's really easy to put in, and it helps differentiate.
They might do that. I
hope they do, and I hope they put the factions in, because I don't remember he was saying ages ago that there was going to be some different factions in space where you could maybe join them, and
that'd be cool.
That's the thing though. A lot of the negative press that this is getting is because a lot of stuff was talked about and not delivered. But this is the thing. That's like what I was saying. I was talking to Kurt about it on the way up. Some guy put together a comprehensive list of everything that Sean Murray had said was going to be in the game, and all the stuff that isn't. Right, and there's this laundry list as long as my arm. But this is the thing. It's like I was saying, Cooper, it's like they're a 15-man team. Do you know what I mean? They're an indie developer, and a lot of the stuff that they've said were probably grand designs that they had, and they got cut because they just literally couldn't or have the time to do it. Do you know what I mean? And it's the problem is some guy, I can't remember his name. He's a game developer though, and his crap was basically, you can tell that Hello Games are an indie developer because they don't know how to do PR. And what he meant, but he expanded on that by saying
they should have kept the mouth shut.
Yeah, he's basically, you don't talk about shit that's in your game unless it's locked in, because he goes, aspirations become promises once they're stated. And so Sean's been like, oh yeah, well, we want to do this, and this is something.
Enthusiastic about his game.
And then
you can tell he loves it.
I love the game. I think it's
and I think the points we've made that we think could be worked on, it doesn't affect the game too much, you know.
And I know it's not for everyone, but the loneliness of it, and that's what's important. That's what makes the game work.
But I think every bit of it's just well thought out. The soundtrack's perfect. The fucking look of it's amazing.
That's the thing. If you on some of the things on that list, I'd love to be in the game. Right, and I know that obviously because it's on that list, at some point
some of them might be.
But that's the thing. It's I don't I lament the loss of them not being in the game, but it doesn't detract away from what it already is, which is a really really well put together fucking groundbreaking experience. Do you know what I mean?
And like I said earlier, it's probably going to be the benchmark for future games.
It definitely for certain genres it is. It's got to be for certain genres. It has to be, because there's no coming back from that. I mean, I love the fact that the galaxy's totally random. I love it.
And I can't wait for them to put the patch in so you can build a base and hopefully get some kind of fucking storage. Because it's desperately needs some storage.
As long as bits and pieces get patched in, then I'm happy with that. Do you know what I mean? I'm happy with the game anyway.
He has stated that, I can't remember exactly how he put it, but I think he said something along the lines of him saying that all updates and DLC would be free was a bit naive.
Yes, I've got that as one of my things. Basically, he's kind of soft backtracked on the whole it's going to be
Yeah.
free thing. Basically, he said there are
There's-
going to be updates and patches.
And as much as they can will be free, but
Yeah, but,
some will have to be paid
but they're
for.
not going to rule out the possibility of paid DLC.
That's fair enough. I'll probably sink a bit of money in that game. I will. I love the game. I fucking love it. Kaylee started playing it right because she was interested, and I was doing like music stuff yesterday. So we sat down here playing on mine. I've took 2 copies of the Division and Battlefront down yesterday. Part X to get her own copy. She's fucking hooked. Do you know what I mean? It's just amazing.
You
Is
got
the-
rid of the Division.
I'll get it again.
Is the Battlefront
Maybe in a few months or a year or something when
is the Battlefront Part X just entirely down to the fact that Battlefield 1's coming?
basically.
Yeah.
Because I'd not bought the season pass for it, and I thought, well, you know what?
Yeah, neither do I wouldn't care though. In the Death Star one that's coming up, the new game mode called Battle Stations or something sounds fucking incredible. I was reading about it, and it's like it's in sections, and basically you start off where like it's like it starts off as a dogfight, like
Yeah.
and like you've got to like punch. Say if you're the rebels attacking, you've got to destroy enough of their like TIE fighter force to clear a path for Y-wings to bomb a fucking Star Destroyer, so that you can then get in and take it out.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and then if you manage to win that bit, then you board the Death Star and you have a ground battle like in the Death Star. But it's all based on the successful like of each partition of the thingy.
Yeah, that's good.
And if you're the
Imperial.
Imperials, then you get like obviously a set amount of TIE fighters or whatever, and you get like AI TIE fighters to like help pull the rebels off and stuff like that. And it sounded really cool. Basically, they've managed to successfully merge like several like game modes together and make it like gel into something.
Don't
that
get me
you-
wrong, it's a good game, but I just don't put the hours in it. I
Yeah.
don't put the time in it.
Yeah.
And when I do get to play nowadays, I just play No Man's Sky. And users saying it's mood dependent. I've found it's the other way around for me. I've found that no matter what mood I'm in, I can put that on and sit and play it, and I'm like immediately just pulled back
Oh
in.
no, I'm the same. I never said it was mood dependent.
I think you did, don't you?
I did, but that's the thing. I've always stated that because I know what I'm like. Like, say if I wanted something that's like really like just fucking actiony and mindless, that isn't the game for that. But I do sometimes find myself in that mood. Do you know what I mean? And if I put No Man's Sky in there, I won't get the same enjoyment out of it as like say when I've come home from work and I'm fucked and I can't be arsed with anybody. So like my phone's off. Do you know what I mean? I'm offline on PlayStation and it's like right, the rest of my evening is being devoted to No Man's Sky. Like that's the mood for that. Do you know what I mean? For me at
And
least.
for the rest of the time, you play Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Masturbates to men.
Well, that's the actiony mindless bit, isn't it?
I suppose so. But honestly, man, I just can't get enough of the game. In fact, I want you to hurry up and go home so I can get back on it. See you then.
But yeah, it's really good.
We've got Fallout news.
How then?
Fallout New Orleans logo has been trademarked in the EU.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Please tell me this is going to be set like post-flood. That'd be incredible, like a Waterworld Fallout.
Please tell me that it's been made by Obsidian, the people who made New Vegas.
Nobody knows, but that's the
If
rumour.
it's, I hope it's
New
the-
Orleans.
I hope it's them.
That's the rumour, but I don't know how much of that's true, but apparently it has been trademarked.
The thing is everything I read about the Fallout 4 DLC, I mean, I only count some of them because like one or two of them is like quite small and it's just sort of base buildy stuff rather than actual like, you know, emergent
Content.
storytelling and stuff like that. But the bits that I've seen for that look really, really fucking good, but I've just got that little interest in Fallout 4 now. I can't bring myself to like buy them and sink the time into it because I just think, do I ever see myself playing it? Nah.
Same here.
So Ubisoft are developing a new Splinter Cell game. Woo!
That could be alright.
Yeah, it might be actually.
Because I mean, the Splinter Cells.
But it's Ubisoft, so immediately they're going to make it vapid and
I mean, they were the older ones were pretty good. If you were like, if you could, I think they were aimed at a certain cross section of gamers. Like not everybody could pick it up and enjoy it. Do you know what I mean?
And there's the thing, I didn't sell all my box set with the Division, you know, I've still got my special edition stuff, I just sold the actual game. I will go back to that at some point, but
So Drive Club's getting virtual reality tracks
I thought they'd
as a free update.
Yeah.
thanks. I thought they'd disbanded the team that made Drive Club.
Yeah.
How's that working?
No idea.
Oh, that's the other thing. Going back to No Man's Sky. Sony have got a lot to do with it. So, do you know how like Sean Murray's been like, and a lot of the team have been like pretty much radio silent since the game launched.
Yeah.
I wonder how much of that is Sony going, we
Shut
don't want any sort of like even pretend, what can we construe?
Stop talking, Sean. Stop talking now.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't want any anti-No Man's Sky rhetoric about. So just like shut up. Even if it's not like anti, but just like, well, we fucked up on this. Do you know what I mean? And they're just like, this is money for us. So just shut up.
Which is fair enough, really.
The other thing is though, is like the people.
Somebody have a quick look, see how well it's sold, because it's done pretty well.
It's done really well.
Yeah.
But all the negative criticism it's got, like, I don't know, I can't help but feel sorry for them, because it's like, especially Sean, you can see how into it he was, like it's his baby, and they've spent like 5 years on it, for then people to be like, oh well, it's fucking wank because of this.
I don't think people look at it the same way we do. Like, we're kind of looking at it like it's a small team that's made it, and for the size of the team, what they've done is fucking outstanding.
I think what they've done, like if it was a full size team, it would still be incredible.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was about to say, but I had Kate in my mouth.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the game, full stop.
Like I say, some of the things they talk about would have been nice to have in, but it's not. They don't. It's not a detriment with the game that they're
It
not
doesn't
in
take
it.
away from
And
the
the thing
game.
is, right, how can they say these people, I know I'm doing a bit of a false analogy here, right, but why does Minecraft get a pass when it's utter fucking garbage to look at, to play, to what? It's just absolute fucking dog shit, and it gets a pass as this groundbreaking, amazing indie game, and they come out with something like this, which is more involved, it looks better, it's got a good lore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's an actual game within there, a story, right? And the mechanics are beautiful, and everything's really fascinating in that. And they got North shite. Minecraft's meant though. Like, get a grip.
Minecraft's like weird though. It's like this fucking cultural phenomenon that like I don't really understand. Like I'm not gonna lie, I did play it. I played it back in the beta before it came out, and I put like, I don't know, 15 hours into it, and I thought, like, I'm like, right, okay, so once the initial thing wears off of like, right, I've got to build a whatever, then what? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got it for the Ben, and he loves it, and I can't see the appeal. I
Like
just don't get it.
Minecraft is a sandbox in the absolute barest possible sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing. Like, the mechanics of the game are so fucking limited. Do you know what I mean? I mean, obviously, like, there is parallels between this.
Didn't the guy who made it whinge about it when it was successful?
Yeah.
What a take.
Well, basically, he didn't like all the responsibility that came with it being as successful as it did, because he ended up like hiring a team, and like for the development of the game, and he was like, eventually he was like, all I want to do is fucking make a game. I didn't expect it to do this well, and like I never wanted to be like the head of a company. So that then he passed the reins over, and then
Sold it for an obscene amount of money.
yeah. And then just now he lives in a fucking massive mansion. But you know what?
4 billion or so, 40 billion or
Yeah.
something daft like
Well,
that.
fair play to him if that's the case then.
But that's the thing. He never envisaged it taking off. Like, it
And
did.
then he whinged about having that much money.
Oh, well, I didn't know that, but you know.
What a dick.
I think this has to be the greatest thing in the world.
It's pretty good, like. It's not quite as good as onion rings and sour cream and chive, though.
Good shit. Have you seen anything of Gamescom?
What about it?
Well, it's happening. Have you seen anything coming out of it? Or?
I saw something briefly. I didn't pay any attention to it. It was just like, oh yeah, new games, continue.
The only thing,
Sony and Microsoft aren't there, are they?
I don't know. The only thing I've seen on it is someone put a Half-Life 3 poster up next to the other
Yeah.
thingies. That's the only thing I've seen of it.
Did you see what it said though?
No.
It had some German writing underneath,
Right.
and everybody got really excited on the internet. And what it actually said was, 3 developers from Half-Life will be here. And everybody lost their shit and thought it was Half-Life 3.
Get in.
Troll-la-la-la-la.
Right, so the other thing I've got is like
AIDS.
pretty interesting.
Gonorrhea?
No, it's not a sexually transmitted disease, it's still related to gaming.
Oh, right, okay.
So, it's been referred to as like the sigils. So there's this thing where people are talking about having like you know, like alternate reality game and stuff like geocaching and all that kind of shit, right? But there's been this particular image showing up in like, it showed up in like 19 different indie games over the course of like the past 4 years, right? Always like the same thing, and people have been like, "What's all this about then?" And when one guy's took it and opened he opened the file in like a hex editor,
He's
and
like data mined up.
and it came out in a different shape to the thingy. And then he's like, people have done the same with the other things, and they all come out different, and they're making like some sort of weird like, people are like, is it some kind of map? I mean, I can't really say, but I'll show you the image. But to give you an idea of like how in depth it's going, hang on, because a second, I've got a screenshot.
Is there any games you know that it's been in? Like,
I've
any
got-
games you played?
Only one. It was like I said, it's mostly indie games, but like when they've rang developers to talk about it, most have been like, nah. And then a couple of people have been like, yeah, we said we'd keep a lid on that. So there's something bigger than that going on, but like no one knows what it is.
So it's like a gaming conspiracy theory.
Yeah, but it, like,
They're going to take over the world. It's the Illuminati.
It's Half-Life 3.
yeah. So like, look, that's the image that's been turning up in all these games, right? And then when he's opened it in the hex editor, that's what it looks like.
That does look like a part of a map, doesn't it?
Yeah, but this is the thing, when they've done the same with the other games, right? This is now what it looks like when they've put it all together. So all the overlapping circles is all the different like images from the different thingies.
Whoa.
Look. That's pretty good.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. But wait till I find where my thingies at.
I'm such a cynic. My brain's just gone, that's good marketing.
Well, yeah, I mean it is what it is. But it's like, one sigil was found by decoding the Morse code hidden in another sigil found in an otherwise innocuous mobile game, Slide the Shakes, right? The Morse code spelled out a set of coordinates in Los Angeles, California, which led someone to find a hidden USB drive. On that drive was, of course, another sigil.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
This is awesome. I really like it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I want to know where it's going.
Yeah, but it's the thing that, like,
It's the Illuminati.
this kind of thing's been around for, like, a while, with, like, geocaching and stuff.
It's
but,
the Illuminati.
I've never understood geocaching.
Yeah. But if you remember Halo 2's I Love Bees thing, do you remember that? That was like a similar thing. I can't remember the details of that, but it was like a similar thing that had people going to like phone boxes at certain times and that, and like picking the phone up and getting like messages and stuff to try and work out the next bit. But yeah, so
Have you ever done geocaching?
no,
Do you know what it involves?
I don't.
not like, I have a very, very rudimentary understanding of it. Like, not enough to...
So you get some
to
coordinates,
do.
you
Yeah.
go and dig some shit up, and
Yeah.
then what do you actually get? That's what happened.
I don't know.
A bad back.
There, look, when the emailed developers whose game featured sigils, most of them didn't respond. Another developer said, I gave me word I'd keep a lid on it. The developer of Crypto the Necro Dancer, which is like the only one I've played, which had one in, he said, Patrick, you're not trying to put me in a jam or a pickle, are you? She'd pulverise me. So they're thinking that's some sort of cryptic message.
So who's the she?
I don't know. As you might expect, I don't have much to say on this subject, said the
It's the
designer of
Illuminati.
Moon Hunters, Tanya Short.
It's the Illuminati. I'm telling you. It's Illuminati, and they're not really trying to take over the world and destroy us all. They've all got PlayStation 5s right now. And they're trying to keep us busy and keep us away. And the Illuminati all live in the mum's basement. And they're all Uber gamers.
But yeah, a design behind Kingdom of Loathing, another game, says it's definitely leading to something. I can't really say anything about where it's going though. I know it must be frustrating.
Hold on a minute, this just in. In the Express of all places. No Man's Sky update. Sean Murray reveals plan to make the game about other things. No Man's Sky is set to receive big updates in the future that will change the game's focus from exploration and survival to other things. That's according to Hello Games founder Sean Murray, who has been busy in recent days expanding the game's development team to deal with support issues while also providing new patches. And it's fair to say that No Man's Sky has made an impact on the gaming community in both positive and negative fashion. Many have pointed to the game's procedurally generated universe as a huge leap in the industry which could create new tantalising opportunities, which is exactly what we were saying.
Yeah.
It's a new benchmark. People are going to have to meet that or make it better. Others have been left frustrated. No Man's Sky limitations in multiplayer gameplay mechanics. Boo-hoo. Speaking of Express.co.uk, Murray revealed that No Man's Sky is set to change through the use of future updates, while the subject of why the game continues to be a solitary experience was also touched upon. I love the fact that it's a solitary experience at the moment.
Yeah.
Commenting on the developer choices chosen by his team, Murray revealed, I actually think that almost every decision we've made with the game will come to a path and there's like a split in the path and we think, what is it that's unique about the game? Was it that's interesting? And what is similar to other games? And we'd always want to go for the path that's unique and interesting. That sounds perfectly reasonable. So for instance, we're the small indie studio and so our only power and ability is to do things that are different. So say if you love multiplayer games and you want a really competitive multiplayer experience, and there's loads of games out there for you, there are loads of games already that do that, but say with No Man's Sky we have a unique thing, which is this infinite universe, and actual multiplayer tends to bring people together. We want to celebrate what's different about No Man's Sky and just spread people as far apart as possible. We want people to feel overwhelmed at times. We want them to feel a little lost at times. I have felt all of that. We want them to feel like they're on the frontier of exploring space. Yes, I do.
Tell you what makes me feel lost the most: caves.
Yeah.
Fuck caves.
And that's what the game's about. And we want to explore those ideas. Murray also touched on how No Man's Sky will change in the future, hinting that the current exploration and survival game mechanics may make way for bigger plans. Through updates and things in the future, we'll make the game about other things, but initially when it launches, that is what it's about, Murray added. It's about those feelings and those emotions, about the grander idea of exploration. I think you're right. I think Sony's been coaching him like fuck. New features that have been discussed in the past include base building and owning larger ships, although it's unclear just how long players will have to wait for these changes. Like, imagine if you have a fucking Star Destroyer.
I'll tell you what I'd like. I'd like to have a fucking space station, like run by like aliens that I'm friendly with or whatever.
Imagine that, and you get a cut of everything that's sold on it.
Yeah, that'd be fucking sweet.
We're totally focused on customer support right now. Murray recently told Twitter followers. Then we'll move on to improving and adding features in the game.
The patches that are coming are all stability related
Good.
and performance issues like glitching ships and stuff like that.
Have you getting an Atlas stone yet?
Yeah, I've had a couple.
Do you know what to do with them?
Sold them.
Oh.
Why?
I haven't had any yet. I'm still in my first system. I haven't jumped yet.
I don't want to spoil it for you, but you need 10 of them at the end of the game.
I can get 10. You can buy them back, you know. You can buy them.
Oh yeah, I know, but they're very expensive.
Money's infinite if you know how to play.
Well,
Money.
yeah, I know that.
Money's not an object.
And do you know how the game ends?
No.
Unfortunately, I do.
Don't want to know.
Yeah, don't tell me.
I won't spoil it for you, but I think we need to talk about that once you get to it.
Right, No Man's Sky mods look set to be a big part of the game in the future, so fans are already building their own tweaks for the game. Modding is strong in a lot of modern evening games like GTA 5, where the developers have been.
That's not going to be for us though.
I know, blah blah blah. The most popular bunch so far on the video game mod site has been downloaded over 16,000 times. Blah, blah, blah. The fast action mod looks to remove long waiting times on important actions such as mouse clicks and action key buttons. While the first wave of No Man's Sky mods boast mostly simple changes, the launches have proved very Popular amongst PC fans, that's boring. I'm not interested in that.
What I want to know is that thing you've just been talking about with the sigils.
Yeah.
Why isn't that like bigger news?
It's been like, I didn't know. It's been on a few like gaming sites and that, but I noticed it last week, and I was just like, oh right, what's okay. Like I didn't pay any attention to it, but then the only reason I've had any interest in it because I was watching a podcast, and they talked about it at length, and I was like, that sounds amazing. Like why did I not know about this? So then I went and looked at it myself, and I'm just like, I love the whole fucking like, well, conspiracy.
You love the Illuminati aspect.
Yeah.
It's like the Illuminati but real.
Yeah. And I'm not like, that's the thing though, if you've ever done any sort of like, have you ever came across Torment? That was on the net a few years ago, and it was just there was a series of images, and
Was this Thin Man shit?
no,
Because that was a similar thing started out like that, didn't it?
basically it was a series of images, and you started off and you like the first one it was an image and a text box, and you had to put your answer in, and if it was wrong you went to this page that said like 404 not found or whatever, and it played it's only just begun by the Carpenters or whatever, and but if you got it right you went to a new image, and people were trying to like complete it, and they got through like 18 to 20 and like they got stumped beyond that, but it was all like cryptographic shit. So like the keys to working it out were in the image, but then you'd need like a particular cipher to work it out. Do you know what I mean? And I got right into that with a couple of mates for like, I don't know, a month or two, like about 4 or 5 years ago. And it's that just cog turning, like, oh, what could it mean? Like, how can I work this out?
Yeah.
Like, that's really rewarding in and of itself. So people like looking at like, not just like to actually try and dig and find out what it means. Like, people are loving that.
They're not, man.
But yeah, I'll be interested to see what that all amounts to, even if it's so much shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'll still like
Like I want to know now.
yeah.
Anything else?
No.
Alright, bye.